welcome back. We previously interviewed Sara Wigham, and she has such an amazing story that she shared with us. And then after the interview, we began to discuss a few additional things, those being about her trip to Afghanistan, and just felt like there was some additional things that we could add to her interview. So,
Sarah, when we were talking after the interview, and we started discussing how was your experience going to overseas, and we see so much negativity on media, and we feel like that wherever our armed forces go, the whole place is like that. I would like to ask you, what was your experience in Afghanistan?
The majority of the experience was a really positive one. I got to meet an amazing culture. I made wonderful friends. My job was mostly a humanitarian position, so I got to really immerse myself in the culture and just meet everyone, which was really fun and exciting.
Yeah, but when you are in a country and the idea is that it's a war, and you introduce yourself, I guess this is the reason that there is so much negativity. How do the people actually respond to you? Are they warm? Are they hateful? I bet there are all kinds of people everywhere. But when you said that I made friends, how does that look like?
Whenever I went over there, I was expecting, a lot of hostility. I didn't really know what to expect.
Right.
It was a war effort, so I assumed that things would just be terrible, but I was met with open arms. The people were really excited to see the American people there. They loved playing with my hair and just talking to me. They were really, really nice. It wasn't anything like what I see when the media presents the war effort.
That's right. That's right. I only know this because I was born in Pakistan, and I've never been on those sides, those borders there. But at the same time, I know as a citizen of a third world, when I was born there, people love United States. They just all over the world. It's not. I understand the governments can have issue, but really, just general human beings.
Absolutely.
They love America and the idea that what can you achieve here. What do you think? Did you feel the same way?
Oh, absolutely. In my time overseas, that was when I realized that fundamentally, as humans, we're all the same.
Yes,
we all want to love each other, and we're all intrigued by each other, and we just want to prosper and grow, and that surprised me so much going over there. It was really exciting.
yeah. So this is our opportunity to put a positive spin on a lot of the information that we get via our social media outlets, our news outlets. I also spent 2 years in Okinawa, Japan, and I had the same experience. The culture was very warm, loving, and inviting. And so I think that it's really just important for you all as viewers to see another side of life overseas. It is not all the hatred and hostility that we are fed via our social media outlets and our news outlets.
Yes.
While we need those different media outlets for our information about what's going on in the world, it is just really important for us to understand that as human beings, first and foremost, there's so much likeness, there's so much kindness, and there's so much love.
Yes.
Do you agree with that, right?
I absolutely have.
Right. And the idea that an average human being really just want to be happy and resourceful and take care of their family. And so it's very important that we talk to each other about these things.
That's right.
I understand, just like you said, social media is important for the information, but we shouldn't stop talking to each other about different experiences that we have, because this is where the truth lies. This is where the reality and authenticity of the experience. So that's why I think it was a good idea. Thank you for coming and talking about it. What would you tell people who are watching how to keep their minds open? And I love that you said that we are so much alike than we are different.
Right.
Mostly that just remember that the things that you see online or through media, through the news, they have their own agendas when they're trying to show the populace what's going on. And I don't know, positivity and growth and those things, I don't think they get as many ratings as the negative and the sad, you know.
Drama.
But those are some of the nicest people I've ever met.
Right.
You know?
Yes,
So-
I certainly do. You know, I do want to share just a little bit about my experience being in Japan and living in our quads, is what I called them when we lived off base. We lived out in the economy, right? So you're familiar with that term. And so the neighbor to my left and the neighbor to my right were both Japanese, and we were the only Americans in our quad. And they didn't speak English and I didn't speak Japanese. But every evening when I arrived at home, I was greeted with some homemade baked good or fresh fruit. I was locked out of my car once, and one of my neighbors, you know, he helped call for the locksmith. I'm sure that there's another word for it there, but, you know, there was just so much love in that community, even though we couldn't even speak the same language.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It really warms my heart. You know? I wish people could see more of that.
Right. Right, and that's what we are trying to do here.
Yeah.
I know, and again, there we go. Not a lot of people. Kindness is always there. I believe it's out there, and we have kind people around us. It is just that we don't look for them as much anymore.
Right.
Yes.
Lala, I would like to ask you a question. Coming from the third world country, so Sarah and I both from the free world,
Yes.
and went into a third world country where we were welcomed, loved, and welcomed in the country. What was it like for you coming here? Did you receive that same
Right.
welcome feeling?
Oh, definitely. I am everything I am because of the strangers I met. They have shaped my life. It's been a great experience to come to United States, and I was in New York and lived in upstate New York for years and did not speak English. It took me some. I learned my English from kids and older people and watching Full House. My kids, I always tell them.
Oh, how cute.
I am so thankful for my journey. This is the reason I know that wherever my friends, my American friends will go, they will find the same love because I had it here. Things shook a little bit after 9/11 and I experienced some of the hostility. But you know what? But most of the time, I am loved by people. No complaints whatsoever.
Wow.
No complaints.
I'm so thankful for
I
that.
am
Yes,
too, yes,
yes.
because I really didn't know what her response might be.
Yeah.
And so that is really good to
I
hear.
try not to look at the small interactions of, some hard experience because the majority is all love filled. People have been helpful and kind, and even in this situation, there has been bombings in Pakistan, and my friends have called and checked on me and on my family. And this is what I hope they get when they get to go in different places. Personally, I believe that it's all about the politics when we have these terrible agendas going on. But I know as an average human being, everywhere you go, all the humans just really want to have a good life.
Right.
Yes.
That's right.
They don't care. So I am happy.
And, you know, kind of like we discussed last night after the interview with Sarah, in all countries and in all races and walks of life, there will be those groups.
That's right.
Terrorist groups. What do you call the racial groups?
Right.
So there's
Extremists.
the extremists.
Yes.
There will always be those types of people. But if we will open our hearts and open our minds to be able to receive each other and just respect our individuality, we are individual, purposed, but we are all here for the greater good.
Yes, we
Yes.
are. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah.